I always felt like I was that person that no one gave about.
She's 20 years old. She's emo. She's like an emo kid.
Boy.
She's really got this idea of me.
I did not know that the Cyrus family had this drama going on, which I read about this morning.
Disrespect in every form.
Us Weekly is now saying that Tish is spiraling out of control and trying to figure out how to diffuse this ever since the news was released.
Howdy y'all. The Cyrus family seems to be hiding some big secrets. This crazy family dynamic includes stories of betrayal, armed guards, and honestly plot points that I have only seen in trashy country songs. Billy Ray Cyrus and Tish Cyrus were married for 28 years. Tish ended up filing for divorce in April of 2022, and this is after several additional attempts earlier on to get divorced, but they had previously reconciled.
In 2010, Billy Ray filed for divorce, but he announced 5 months later that he'd withdrawn his petition. However, by 2013, things had soured again, with Tish filing for divorce that June.
Tish and Billy definitely seem to have a rocky relationship near the end of their marriage, which I imagine naturally does happen, but she has said in multiple interviews, one of which is Call Her Daddy, how emotionally distraught she was near the end of her marriage.
I had like 1 month of a honestly complete psychological breakdown. I really, during that period, just took a really good hard look at my life, because it had not been in a good place for a long time.
It seemed like she wanted to end things for a while with Billy, but she was just so nervous and scared about the unknown, which is normal. After getting the courage to file for divorce in 2022, Tish also filed a restraining order. So this sort of speaks to how contentious their divorce seemed to be, which I imagine contributed towards the split of the dynamic of the family. In this restraining order, she restricted the language that they could use around the kids and other family members. I'm sure there were clauses in there about what you could and could not say publicly. And it also restricted the movement of assets. Now, this divorce, as I've mentioned, seems to be the first major shift in the family unit and the family dynamic, which is normal. But what normally doesn't happen is you, being the mother of the family, you start sleeping with a man that your daughter is also sleeping with. And this is what the insider is alleging in this new information. Tish started dating a man named Dominic Purcell, who is infamously known from the show Prison Break in 2022. This is around the time that obviously she got her divorce. She was on her grown woman shit. She's ready to get out there and start dating again. And they really wouldn't date for that long. They ended up marrying in 2023. An insider is now saying that Tish decided to get with Dominic, even though she knew that her daughter was seeing him.
A separate source clarifies Noah stopped seeing Dominic and Tish decided to pursue him and did not tell Noah.
This is crazy. You knew that your daughter was sleeping with this man or seeing this man, and you still decide, despite what I'm sure a lot of people told you, to still pursue and marry this man. The insider 100% vehemently said that she knew that her daughter was seeing this guy. There was no, oh, it's a blip. All of a sudden, months go by. Oh yeah, I'm seeing this man. I'm in love. Oh wait, you were dating him. It's too late. We're married. She 100% knew this from the very beginning. Quote, Noah and Dominic were seeing each other in a friends with benefits sort of way, off and on. They stopped seeing each other, and then Tish started something up. Tish knew he had been seeing Noah. They also went on to say that Tish never even really gave Noah the chance to have a conversation about the Dominic thing. It seems like the wedding moved really, really fast, and they never really sat down and chatted about it, which speaks to their relationship. You wouldn't talk to your daughter about a man that you're going to marry. It only just sounds like they just were not really talking at all, and they just didn't really care to sit down and talk about anything. This dynamic where you have allegedly stolen your daughter's friends with benefits situation is not what Tish has said in the past on podcasts and in interviews where she's talked about the new love of her life. This is not the dynamic that she's explained whatsoever.
A hot freaking ass husband, like waking up next to him with his like hot body and tattoos. I literally am like, thank you, Lord. I just want to praise him.
On the Call Her Daddy podcast, Tish explained that Dominic first reached out to her in 2016. He slid into her DMs, and she didn't really see it until 2022. This was around the time that she had gotten divorced but she always had a crush on Dominic.
I would always say Dom's my hall pass. Always. I would joke about it. Like, it is heartbreaking that the two of us aren't going to be a couple because we're so perfect.
But she decided to pursue things after her relationship ended with Billy Ray Cyrus.
Who out of anyone would you want to go out with? And I go, Dominic Purcell. And she goes, just DM him right now. Because I told her about the 2016 thing.
It's giving Hallmark, it's giving fairy tale. Not saying that these things do not happen. I'm sure they happen every single day. But this story just sounds very beautiful. You just so happen to miss a DM from a man who you end up marrying and spending the rest of your life with. And then all of a sudden you remember this man that you have a crush on 6 years later after your divorce is finalized. It sounds so beautiful. It sounds very unbelievable, but it does happen. She also explains on the podcast that they went out to lunch together and it seemed like things moved really, really fast. They ended up making out for 3 hours. And then the next day they were saying, I love you. So they were on a fast track to getting married from the very beginning.
The minute you met him, did you know, kind of?
Yes.
What a lot of the blogs aren't really focusing on with this new alleged information is the age difference between Dominic and Noah. There is a 30-year age difference. Noah is 24, Dominic's 56. That is giving predatory behavior. There's a lot that seems to be baked into relationships that have that big of an age difference. The person who's older has so many different life experiences than you do, has so much more knowledge about life than you do. It is just really weird. Usually the power dynamics are just completely off. And I think that the stories that are coming out about this aren't really touching on this enough, that Dominic would pursue a woman that is that much younger. The Insider even had some exclusive information about the wedding itself. On one side, you have Miley and her sister Brandy. You also have their other brother going to the wedding, attending the wedding. Miley was a bridesmaid. While on the other hand, you have Noah and Brayson, who outright skipped the wedding. They did not attend the wedding at all. Not only did they not attend the wedding, but they decided in true country music fashion to go to Walmart, to get coffee together, to document that they had a sleepover together. Mind you, they're taking picture after picture after picture after picture and posting this all on their stories.
Yo, this Walmart is crazy. Yo. What the?
On top of this, Noah was also wearing a Billy Ray Cyrus t-shirt, clearly sending a message to her mother on her wedding day. I know of many people who didn't approve of a marriage to another person, but they still went to the wedding out of support for that person, if that makes sense. Like, they're still going to support the person that they're closer to that's getting married to the person that they don't like. Why your mom didn't invite you to her wedding to marry a man that she hopefully will spend the rest of her life with, one of the happiest moments that your mom probably will ever have, is just really weird to me, and it makes me feel like this is believable.
Noah is now engaged, so she's in a different point of her life, but it does seem like they're still on the outs with each other. And Us Weekly is now saying that Tish is spiraling out of control and trying to figure out how to diffuse this ever since the news was released just recently.
I also want to say this. We see this a lot in Hollywood where people will subtly shade other people. It's sort of shade where you have to read in between the lines. If I wasn't a Noah Cyrus fan, if I didn't really know much about their family dynamic, I would just see a photo of her online wearing a Billy Ray Cyrus t-shirt, going to Walmart, going and getting coffee with her brother. I wouldn't think anything of it. But blogs, it's very easily for them to pick this information up, connect the dots, 2 and 2 equals 4. Okay, yeah, she hates her mother. It's very easy to see this. It's very easy to see 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 children at the wedding. Somebody's missing here. Oh, those 2 motherfuckers that are at Walmart right now getting a Diet Coke. We see this a lot in Hollywood where people won't outright come out and say, I hate the man my mom's marrying. I hate my mom. She's fucking a man that I once was fucking. They're not going to come out and say that, but they will subtly shade the fuck out of them. And then it's very easy to put this information together. People also noticed that Brayson flew into LA on the day of his mom's wedding, and he just spent time with his sister, fully signaling that he's supporting, obviously, his father and he's on his sister's side. According to the Insider, Noah and Brayson weren't even invited to the wedding to begin with, and Miley Cyrus actually hired armed guards in order to stand by to make sure that the two didn't crash the wedding. Speaking of Miley, people have been wondering what her relationship is like with her father now that her parents are divorced. And it actually is pretty terrible.
Can you feel the southern rain?
Billy Ray, just like his ex-wife, didn't spend that much time being divorced after he split from his ex-wife. He ended up marrying an Australian singer, Fire Rose, in October 2023, only a few months after his ex-wife married Dominic. And Fire Rose just so happens to be very, very similar in age to Miley Cyrus.
Billy Ray, who's 61 years old, is engaged to Fire Rose, who's 23 years old. She's only 1 year older than Noah Cyrus, who's 22 years old. They seemed like a pretty happy family. And Tish, who's Miley's mom, and Billy Ray, they just got divorced in April 2022, so kind of recent. By the way, Miley looks just like her mom, stunning. But with this, Miley cut off like all communication with her dad. And Fire Rose and Billy Ray Cyrus had an interview, kind of, just watch, it's weird.
Tell me about how you guys met and this song came together.
We actually met 10 years ago on the set of Hannah Montana.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. 10 years ago on the set of Hannah Montana.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. And
Billy in that interview is looking like, don't say it, don't ask anymore. It's weird, right? He just got divorced and then now he's re-engaged with someone who's like super young. It's just, it's weird because it's Hannah Montana.
It seems like this age difference is at the center of their feud. She just does not believe that he should be marrying a woman who is decades younger than her. And once again, it's the age thing. I just can't with these people. Around the time that they had announced their engagement, Miley unfollowed her father then unfollowed her. She would also go on to snub him during her 2024 Grammy speech for Flowers.
Thank you all so much. I don't think I forgot anyone, but I might have forgotten underwear. Bye.
Despite the drama that seems to be behind the scenes, the crazy family dynamic that they have, the family has only ever spoken positively about other family members in the press. It just seems like they avoid talking about each other negatively or at all in interviews. To this day, Miley hasn't really talked much about her father at all in interviews outside of fame, how her father feels about her fame, growing up, being a child star, things like that.
My dad grew up the opposite of me. So I think that's where me and my dad's relationship to fame and success is wildly different. Him feeling loved by a big audience impacted him emotionally more than it ever could me.
She hasn't negatively talked about his divorce. She hasn't negatively talked about her mother or really her sister. So they're definitely keeping up appearances. And that's why it's hard to believe stories like this, stories where insiders come out and leak this information, because the family has only ever presented as one unit in public. Miley, as always, has chosen to express how she feels in her music, where it seems like it will make a more long-lasting impact, or at least will make her more money. That's the crazy dynamic between the Cyrus family members. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and drop a like if you liked this video, just so that I will know for future videos that you guys like this sort of thing, the style of video. I do also want to say thank you so much for 1,000 subscribers. I literally went out yesterday, bought myself a cupcake to celebrate tonight. I am so happy you guys seem to be enjoying the content. Don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys. Yeehaw!